It's basically a mango candy and a pineapple candy blend in together. These two perfumes I think have been created with two different audiences in mind. When I initially sprayed it, I was like, meh, I don't know why people are paying 2400 or 3000 rupees for this. Hey guys, welcome to another video of Scent Saga. This is Deep and today's video is about comparing two perfumes, Afnan 9pm Rebel and Supremacy Collectors Edition. I was not really sure as to whether I should purchase a full bottle of these perfumes because I saw the reviews online and I was a bit skeptical. So rather than buying a full bottle, I went ahead and I purchased two decants of these two perfumes from Sentira so that I can compare them side by side, spend some time with them and then finally decide whether I should be going for a full bottle or I should just skip the entire perfume DNA. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how Afnan 9pm Rebel smells, what is my overall experience with the perfume, its projection, longevity, everything. And at the same time, I will be comparing it with Afnan's Supremacy Collectors Edition, tell you the entire differences about the two, which one you should go for. And in case you don't have the budget to buy any of these, is there any alternative available which comes at a cheaper cost but gives you that similar kind of a feeling? So without wasting any more time, I'll get started with the video. So first things first, let's talk about how Afnan 9pm Rebel smells and how it differs from Supremacy Collectors Edition. So when you initially spray Afnan 9pm Rebel, the top notes is basically very pineapple heavy. You get that mix of pineapple and mango-like sweetness. It's basically a mango candy and a pineapple candy blend in together, and that's the kind of smell that you're gonna get. I'm referring to candy over here because there is a sugary sweetness added along with the notes of pineapple and mango. Over here, if you talk about the entire dominance of the smell, I would say pineapple is more dominant than mango. Say around 60% pineapple and 40% mango. That is what I felt in the opening. That is where Afnan's Supremacy Collectors Edition is a bit different. Over here, you will get juicy pineapple-like smell, but again, that sugary candy-like smell is missing. It's only juicy pineapple smell you're gonna get at the top, but the intensity of that sweetness is lesser when you compare it with Afnan's 9pm Rebel. As the perfume starts going into the dry down, there is again some similarities as well as dissimilarities. Let me go through them. Afnan 9pm Rebel, more on the pineapple-y and the juicy-like smell, which continues till the end of the perfume, after the perfume evaporates from your skin or apparel. Till that perfume is on your skin or apparel, you will get that pineapple-y, rich, sweet, juicy kind of vibe going on with the perfume, but there will be some nuanced introduction of oak moss musk that adds a bit of character to the perfume and gives you like 20 to 30% of that Creed Aventus like vibe going into the dry down. This is where Afnan's Supremacy Collector Edition is a bit different. What happens is, in the dry down or in the mid note or the base note, Afnan's Supremacy Collector Edition has added notes of birch tar, which makes it a bit more smoky. And along with that, it also has got that similar oak mossy character and musky character, giving it more Creed Aventus like vibe in the dry down than Afnan's 9pm Rebel. So if I have to sum up the dry down, it will be like if Afnan 9pm Rebel has like 20% Creed Aventus like vibe in the dry down, Supremacy Collectors Edition will be around 40 to 45% of that vibe. So basically what is happening is Afnan has played with the notes in a very clever way, where in one perfume like Afnan 9pm Rebel, they have given more sweetness, more pineapple like vibe and less of that Creed Aventus like smoky oak mossy vibe at the dry down. And in case of Collector's Edition, what they did was they increased that vibe of Creed Aventus in the dry down, maybe say 40-45%, and reduced the pineapple-iness at the top. Both of these perfumes are kind of similar, but then again, they are not similar. Now, in terms of the pricing, there is also a dissimilarity. After 9pm Rebel, I have seen them getting listed as low as 2400 till 3000 for a 100 ml of bottle. Supremacy Collector's Edition is selling for around 3900 to 4200 or 4300 for that 100 ml of juice. So technically, Afnan 9pm Rebel is around 1000 to 1200 rupees cheaper than Supremacy Collector's Edition. But then again, that can reflect in the blend quality as well. Afnan 9pm Rebel, when you will spray along with Collector's Edition side by side, you will understand that 9pm Rebel is less in terms of the blend quality than Afnan's Supremacy Collector Edition. This will feel more well blended, well rounded, more sophisticated when it comes to the juice quality compared to Afnan's 9pm Rebel, because it will feel a bit more screechy, a bit more on your face kind of a thing. But then again, these two perfumes I think have been created with two different audiences in mind that I'm going to share with you now. What I basically felt is Afnan 9pm Rebel is for somebody who's a bit more youthful, below 25 or something like that. It's categorized by more youthfulness, while Supremacy Collectors Edition is kind of like a bit more on the sophisticated side of things, somebody a bit more matured who likes that pineapple vibe but also wants something a bit more matured, and that is the reason that intensity of oak moss musk is more at the base. That is what I felt. Now when it comes to the performance and projection, there is also a different kind of a story. Afnan 9pm Rebel will feel a bit more stronger, a bit more on your face, and it will project for longer. In my case, when I have applied 9pm Rebel on my clothes, I got projection for around 2 to 2.5 hours easily, and the longevity was around 10 hours plus on my clothes. On the same hand, when I have tried Supremacy Not Only Intense Collectors Edition, the performance was a bit lesser than 9pm Rebel. Basically, it gave me a projection of around 1 to 1.5 hours, and the entire longevity lasted for around 7 to 7.5 hours when I applied it on my clothes. So in terms of the entire projection and longevity, although Afnan 9pm Rebel is cheaper, Supremacy Not Only Intense Collectors Edition kind of falls short when it comes to the Afnan 9pm Rebel. Now, if I have to sum up this entire experience, I would say if you are in college, you still need to be a bit more rich, because affording a 2400 to 3000 rupees perfume in your college days, I mean, I was not able to in my college days. Maybe you can. So if you have that money and you are in your college, or you are somebody who has that extrovert character, you define what a youthful, happy-go-lucky kind of a person is, then I think Afnan 9pm Rebel will be a better choice. If you are somebody who's a bit more sophisticated, is into a corporate job and likes that sweet pineapple-like flavor along with some mossy character and a bit more matured vibe at the back end with some smokiness, I think Supremacy Collectors Edition can be a better choice for you. And also I felt that the Collectors Edition is more suitable for the office environment because it's subtle in projection, not too loud. It's strong, but it's not too loud, which will offend anybody who's not into sweet perfumes. But at the same time, 9pm Rebel, I think, makes a statement if you're in college or school like setup. That is what I personally felt. Now I've already discussed everything about the perfume, but at the beginning of the video I said that I was a bit confused regarding whether I should like it or hate it. The reason for that was because when I initially applied 9pm Rebel, it felt very similar to Kaidal Fursan. Like, I felt that I have smelled this DNA before, there's nothing new, and that is the reason when I initially sprayed it, I was like, meh, I don't know why people are paying 2400 or 3000 rupees for this perfume. On the other hand, when I sprayed Collector's Edition, I was like, this smells refined, this smells a bit different, and I kind of like this vibe. But as I started spending time with Afnan 9pm Rebel, I did get to understand why people were going gaga over this perfume, and everything has to do with the fact that it's very strong in projection, lasts really long, and for the budget that it comes at, I think it's a good blend. But when I compare it with Collector's Edition, that is a different story. But as a standalone perfume, as an individual, this is not a bad perfume when it comes to the quality. And at the same time, I felt that if the catered audience is the youth, then 9pm Rebel is actually a very good choice, and that Creed Aventus like dry down at the back end with some pineapple-y juicy note at the top was kind of a really good combination. But I felt that this kind of a similar smell can be achieved even for a much lesser cost if you have the idea of layering perfumes. And that is the reason I came up with this layering hack that can give you around 80 to 85% of that experience by spending around 1100 rupees. Disclaimer: the quality will not be the same and the projection and longevity will not be the same as Afnan 9pm Rebel. The way to achieve that similar kind of smell would be to get these two perfumes, which is Seduction and Aventus, both coming from Arabian Aroma. Why do I say that? Because Seduction kind of has that similar pineapple-like vibe at the top. It's very similar to Kaidal Fursan, very similar to the opening of Afnan 9pm Rebel. But to achieve that smoky Creed Aventus-like vibe, you need something that smells like Creed Aventus. The reason I have chose Aventus from Arabian Aroma is because it comes for 700 rupees. In case you have any other perfume which smells like Aventus, you can actually use that to layer as well. The only reason I use this is because the budget was low and I'm recommending something which comes at a low budget. So what I did was I applied 1 to 2 sprays of Aventus, and on top of that I applied 1 to 2 sprays of Seduction. And trust me when I say this, the smell is very identical to Afnan 9pm Rebel. Yes, it kind of loses out on that projection. It's not as wild projection like 9pm Rebel does, but at the same time it's very close to Supremacy Collector Edition in terms of the projection, not the smell. Again, in terms of the longevity, this entire layering hack lasted for around 6 to 6.5 hours when I applied it on my clothes, giving this entire value for money aspect a checkbox. My theory is this: if you are young, you have the budget to spend like 24 to 3,000 rupees, you can get that Afnan 9pm Rebel. In case you don't have the budget, you can also go for a decant, because since the perfume is very strong, you can actually use it in small quantity and still it will last you for a considerable amount of time. So getting a decant is also a good option. And in case you do have the budget, you want something less sweeter, a bit more smokier, a bit more on that Aventus vibe with more juicy pineapple-like structure, then Collector's Edition is a better choice for you. And I feel this is something that will cater or will be appreciated more by the matured audience. In case you are like me, who's always looking after value for money perfumes and only have around 1,000 to 1,200 rupees to spend, get a bottle of Seduction, get a bottle of Aventus from Arabian Aroma, layer them together and you will get that similar kind of vibe, subjected to you have to accept that it will have a bit more alcoholic blast, you'll have to accept that it will have less amount of longevity. At the end of the day, the blend quality will not be as exquisite as Afnan 9pm Rebel. Before I end, I have a small request for you. In case you have any queries or concerns about these perfumes, or in case you have some suggestions regarding this entire videos, or if I should make reviews about any other perfume, please use the comment section, or you can reach out to me via Instagram as well, which is Sense Saga Online, and I will try my best to reply or respond to all the DMs that comes in my way, as well as the comments. So this is Deep signing off. I'll see you on the next one very soon. Bye bye.